Okay, in previous videos we've looked at some first declension nouns. The great majority of these are feminine. We've looked at second declension nouns that are masculine, and we've looked at second declension nouns that are neuter. Here we turn to the third declension. And as it says up top there, the third declension is the most challenging of the declensions. It contains masculine, feminine, and neuter nouns. Also, nouns in the singular nominative case have many different endings, as we can see below. All singular genitive third declension nouns end with is, but sometimes the path from the nominative singular ending to the genitive ending isn't obvious. It's best to learn both the nominative and the genitive cases of each third declension noun, and so that's what we have below, okay? So let's look at some third declension nouns. Now here we have neuter, masculine, and feminine nouns. In this video we're focusing just on masculine and feminine, but let's go through the list. Caput, capitis, head. We have the phrase capital punishment. And what that means in sort of a traditional sense is punishment related to the head. In other words, the severing of the head. A very old-fashioned form of punishment. But that's where that word comes from. Carcer, carceris, prison, to be incarcerated, clearly related to that Latin word. Cor, cordis, cor, nominative singular, cordis, genitive singular. Our word cordial, for example, would be related to that. Corpus, corporis, body. The word corpse is related to that. Also, we had the phrase capital punishment. There's also the phrase corporal punishment, right? So again, to have your hand slapped or something like that would be a form of corporal punishment, punishment directed at the body, not punishment directed at the head, okay? Crux, crucis, cross. Our word crucial, for example, related to this. We use the phrase in English, the crux of the matter. Those words are related to that, and also cross, related to that word. Homo, hominis, so man, person. Homo sapiens, right? Sort of the thinking being. Lux, lucis, light. Luxury, I think, would be related to this. Lucid, if something is lucid, would be related to that. Lux, nominative singular, lucis, genitive singular, meaning light. Venter, ventris, womb, belly. Okay, pan, panis, bread. The French word for bread is pain, right? So very much like that. We have the word companion, which brings together the Latin preposition cum plus the word for bread, pan, and so a companion is literally someone with whom you share bread. Pastor, pastoris means shepherd, but of course these days it has a meaning more related to the leader of a church, although even there the idea is one of a shepherd of the flock in the congregation. Mater, matris, mother, maternal, for example, related to that word. Nox, noctis, night. Ovis, ovis, so the same here in the nominative and the genitive singular, meaning sheep. Peccator, peccatoris, sinner. Resurrectio, resurrectionis, resurrection, pretty clear. Rex, regis, for example, the English word regal. Sol, solis, the sun. And a word that comes to my mind is solstice. For example, the summer solstice, the winter solstice, related to the sun. Okay, so there are many other words we could think of as we look at this list, but these are some of the words that appear in the Gospels from the third declension. Okay, so here's an example. Or here are two examples of third declension nouns declined. Homo, hominis, man, person. Pax, passus, right? So you can see that the endings are a bit different. What strikes me is most different here is the genitive plural. Remember aurum and aurum. As soon as we saw aurum and aurum we knew immediately we were looking at the genitive plural. Well, it's different here with the third declension. Okay, so let's go through these. So homo, hominis, homini, hominem, homine. Plural, hominis, hominum, hominibus, homines, hominibus. And as I've said before in other videos, you're going to get different pronunciations from different teachers, different sources. Pax, passus, pass. Singular, pax, passus, passi, passum, passe. Okay? Plural, passus, passum, passibus, passus, passibus. All right? So some things to observe about the third declension. So feminine and masculine third declension nouns follow the same declension schemes. Neuter there's some difference with the neuter, so that's why we're doing that in a different video. The genitive singular of the third declension, is, looks the same as the dative and the ablative plural of the first and second declension, all right? So, here's where this fact about Latin comes into play, that Latin does require us to pay attention to details, okay? So when we see an is ending at the end of a noun, then we need to figure out, am I looking at a first, a second, or a third declension noun? And that comes with practice. The I of the dative case looks like the second declension genitive singular of the nominative plural. Same point I just made. Just figuring out what kind of noun am I looking at? What is the, what is the declension I'm looking at? What is the case I'm looking at? It's important to distinguish the ending of the plural genitive here and the singular accusative endings of the second declension. Same basic point, okay? So things can get complicated. As it says in the last bullet point there, we see how Latin requires us to pay attention to detail, okay? But I wouldn't worry about it a whole lot. I think the best way to work with this is to practice, okay? So let's get to it. Okay, so here we're going to practice with feminine and masculine third declension nouns, okay? Stabant, there's that verb stare, which we've seen before, to stand. Sto, I stand, but now it's in the imperfect, and it has the nt ending. So they were standing juxta, that's the preposition that we've seen before. They were standing juxta next to crucem Jesu. They were standing next to the cross of Jesus. Crucem there in the accusative case. So they were standing next to Jesus' cross. Number 2, si filius Deus descende de cruce. So there's crucis again. Let's go back and take a look. So descende de cruce, and you see that E ending there, so that would be in the ablative case, right? So, si filius de si, that will look familiar to those of us who studied Spanish. If you are the Son of God, de, second declension, singular genitive case. If you are the Son of God. S, if you are the Son of God. Descende, come down, de cruce, from the cross. So crucem in number 1, accusative, cruce, number 2, ablative. 3, non in pane solo vivet homo. So homo, there's a good third declension noun there. So homo non vivet, man will not live, vivet in the future tense here, man will not live in pane solo. I think we'd have to change that into by bread solo alone. So our word solo obviously comes from that Latin word. So not in bread alone will live man, or will live a man. So to make that good English, we'll have to work it out a little bit. A man, a person, will not live by bread alone, or cannot live by bread alone. And homo, there would be in the nominative case. 4, vere homo hic filius Dei erat. Erat we've seen before. He, she, or it was. Vere, truly, as in, for example, in English we might say veritably or verily. Both of those words come from or are related to this Latin word, vere. In truth, truthfully, homo hic, this man, filius Dei, Son of God, erat, was. Truly, person, here, Son of God, was. Okay, so we're going to have to fix that up a little bit to make it into good English. Truly, this was the Son of God. Number 5, et vita erat lux hominum. Okay, et vita, first declension noun, and life, et vita erat, was lux hominum. So let's go back and take a look. Lux means light, you remember, right? Let me see, on the left column, 4 from the bottom, lux means light. And so we have that in the nominative case. And then we have that ending, so let's go back and take a look. So, the life, vita, and the life, era, was, lux, the light, hominum, of men. So hominum there is in the genitive plural, right? Same noun as homo in number 3, same noun as homo in number 4, but here in the genitive plural, okay? And the life was the light of men. Remember, in Latin there are no, there's no a, there's no the, no articles, so we have to put those in English. And the life was the light of men, or of people. Okay, number 6. Accepit puerum et matrum eius nacte. Accepit, he took, puerum, the boy, et matrum eius, and his mother, so the boy and then the boy's mother, nacte. Let's see what's going on. So accepit, he took, puerum, the second declension noun, accusative, so he took the boy, et matrum, let's go back and take a look here. Mater, top right, mater, matris, mother, we have that em ending, so I think we must be looking at the accusative case. So we have puerum, second declension accusative, matrem, third declension accusative, so eius, he took the boy and his, that is the boy's mother, nacte. So this nacte now is a little bit complicated. Let's go back and take a look. Second down on the right, nox, noctis, nights. Okay? Now, but we have the e ending, so the only possibility is singular ablative. Now usually, up to now, we've seen that the ablative will usually have some kind of preposition. That's not the case here. We don't have a preposition here. So we're going to have to put one in, okay? So he took the boy and his mother, that is the boy's mother, nacte, by night. He took the boy and the boy's mother, and his mother, by night. Okay? Number 7, ego sum pastor bonus. Bonus means good, right? Our word bonus is obviously related to that, something you get for doing particularly good work. Remember, the ego is not necessary. It could just read sum pastor bonus. I am the good pastor. I am the good shepherd. That ego there kind of emphasizes the point. Pastor, shepherd, okay? So ego sum pastor, I am the pastor. Pastor is doing the action of being, nominative, singular case. I am the good pastor. I am the good shepherd. Okay, number 8. Bonus pastor animam dat pro ovibus. Okay, so let's start with the verb dat. Dare, first conjugation verb, dat. He, she, it gives. Who gives? The bonus pastor. So the good pastor, the good shepherd gives. So what does the good shepherd give? Animam, soul, or his soul. I think it's sort of understood. So the good pastor gives a soul, I think we would translate that, his soul, pro ovibus. Okay, well let's go back and look at this. Third down on the top right, ovis, so sheep. And then we have that ebus ending, okay, ebus ending, which could be the dative plural or the ablative plural. But we have that preposition in front of it, pro ovibus. The good pastor gives his soul on account of or for the ovibus, something like that. So the good pastor gives his soul for the ovibus, for the sheep, on behalf of the sheep. So I think we're looking there at the ablative plural, okay? And you can see how that works there according to that scheme. Lastly, peccator sum, pretty straightforward. Sum, I am, peccator. Let's go back and take a look here. Let me see, fourth down on the right, peccator, sinner, transgressor. Okay, so I am a sinner, right? Peccator sum.